Restaurants, retail, residential, a focus on redevelopment. I'm Jill Horner. This is Comcast Newsmakers. With me is the mayor of the city of Burlington, James Fazzone. Thanks so much for being with us.
Thank you, Jill.
We've been talking about redevelopment in your community for a number of years, but we are seeing some of that happening right now. Let's start with restaurants. We are seeing some of that happening as we speak. Some new restaurants coming in right now.
Yeah, no question about it. We have a fellow by the name of Jim Watt who was friendly, I guess, and had a relationship with Jim Kennedy, who's our redevelopment consultant. And Jim Watt is the one person responsible for redeveloping Asbury Park. He has Porta, he has several other restaurants. He's got about 5 or 6 restaurants there. He's moved into town, he lives in our town, he brought his executive chef, he brought his executives and cooks, and his entire staff is buying up houses in Burlington. They're here to stay. So we're gonna have kind of a pub that's going to be downtown very shortly, and that's one of Jim's fortes, and it's going to be right on Union Street in an old firehouse. We also are looking at the waterworks for Porta. Porta is really his signature restaurant, Jim Watt's signature restaurant. There's one right next to the Stone Pony in Asbury Park, and there's also one that just opened up in Jersey City, and we'll be the next.
In addition to that, you'll have some other eateries as well. A vegan restaurant, the Cafe Gallery will become Riverview Gallery. There'll also be a brewery and a culinary school coming.
Yeah, we have all those things taking place. The culinary school is going to open up on Union Street. I would say that's going to be within a year. We also have a brewery that's right on High Street. They should open up in a couple of weeks. We have an old historic brewery that's open on a basis, on an as-needed basis, and that's where Frank R. Stockton lived there, and he wrote The Lady or the Tiger, we believe, when he was living in that house. Also, we have the vegan restaurant that you talked about, and some other various. We're hoping Jim Watt opens every restaurant that he has, because he has a French restaurant, he has a bistro, but Jim will open up about 5 or 6 restaurants within the next 2 years.
In addition to restaurants, let's talk a little bit about residential, because some things will also be online there, including some apartments as well.
Yeah, we're going to have high-end apartments overlooking the river at Pearl Point. I've said for years that we can't just live on destination economics, people coming to town to use the restaurants. We have to have a residential economics. We need Generation X millennials living in those apartments. They're beautiful. I've seen the architecture. They match our historic theme that we have in the city of Burlington. They'll be opening up within about 18 months, and we have also some other housing projects that are going to be high-end going on throughout the city as well.
What about retail? Mixed use will be a component into all of this redevelopment.
Absolutely, and what we're trying to do is get a hybrid when we talk about the retail from our stores that are already existing in our downtown on High Street, but Pearl Point is going to have the lower floor dedicated to retail. So if someone wants to move into a brand new store, they're going to be able to do that as well.
So with all of this, restaurants, retail, residential, you also have the river and the riverfront. How does that fit into this in working to attract new businesses and also new residents?
Well, we try to look at other towns that have been successful in what they're doing. If you look at the towns up along the Hudson, if you look at Hoboken, Jersey City, Bayonne, they're all successful. Brooklyn Heights, they're successful because they're overlooking a river. People like to be near a river, and that's the view that we have in Burlington of the Delaware River is as beautiful as it is anywhere in the state.
Thanks so much for being with us. Come back, let us know how all of this redevelopment is going.
We'll keep you updated, Jill.
Thank you.
Thanks.
We've been talking with the mayor of the city of Burlington, James Fazzone. I'm Jill Horner for Comcast Newsmakers.